What's up, guys? Excuse me. It's Monday. It's about 4:30, and unfortunately, we've only been at the job for about 30 minutes. It's been a rough week, probably rough 2 weeks. You guys know the issues I've had with help and all of that stuff. So we're up here in Boone, I guess is where it would be called. We're tearing out these tops. At first glance, you know, it kind of looks like laminate, but it's actually painted. It looks like, I don't know, Jello Napoleon, something like that, maybe. Anyways, we're tearing this out, putting some quartz in. First thing we're going to do is cut the silicone underneath, and then we'll pop some shims in there to try to get it separated from the cabinets without doing any damage to the cabinets. Going to start with this island, and then we'll work over to the perimeter. I'm sure there's a seam in here somewhere. I think I see it even through the paint. It looks like maybe here. And then if there's one there, I'm assuming there's one over here somewhere. So we'll get that figured out. And you know, just like I do on every video, I'll kind of, yep, there it is. I'll show you any issues we run into and how we work through them. I am a little tired today, so I'll probably make some mistakes on my words and things like that. I'm sure y'all let me know in the comments when I do. But Tony and I worked 7 days last week, and we had some really long nights, so bear with me. But we're gonna get going here and try to get this thing knocked out, and I'll touch back with you here shortly. A lot of people don't understand how strong silicone is until they have to remove something with it on it. Sometimes customers ask us how we hold the tops down, and we'll tell them a perimeter bead of silicone. And they're like, really? That's it? But as you can see, we've put a ton of shims in here already, and it still hasn't separated yet. So silicone is tough. Oh, you're fine, man. We have separated the island from the cabinet. Now we're setting up the no-lift cart. We always take some shims and we pin these little legs, feet, whatever you want to call them, up so that we can catch the stone with them. And then we'll, of course, pull our switch and flip it over. The rod they put in that bad boy. That's a 5-foot rod. And look at these bars. Guess what they was connected to? The island. That's it. Alright, so I'm trying to get this seam to pop. I'm 4 shims up here now. Lord knows if we was trying to not break it, it would have broke. But here's the seam, so it's still together. It should pop somewhere now, though. So what I did is I just took my hammer and I tapped it right here where the seam was, and it caused it to pop. You can see the crack going down at here. So should be able to separate that now. So as we got this one here, it's still got to come out, and you know, just like on any other oven cabinet, it's got a bump out here and it's notched behind it. So I can't just set the cart up and pull this thing straight out. It's got to come over to get around this bump out. Well, we got the wall here. I've raised it up, which gives me, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch, maybe. But I can't go up a whole lot higher to get it around. I don't want to damage the cabinet. So what I think I'm going to do is pop it right here. So we'll see how that works. If I can't pop it, maybe I'll go get some 2x4s or something and try to raise it up some more so I can slide it out. But it wouldn't surprise me if they got a glob of silicone over here against the cabinet, because I'll be honest, this is the hardest stone tear out I've ever done. And I've done a lot of them. They had silicone this stuff to high heaven. So I was able to shim it up over there, and I popped it with the hammer all the way across right here. And I was able to pop it, and then I pried it up and put a pry bar in the center to separate it there. So now what I've done is put a grabbo on, and I'm going to try to slide it from left to right over here on top of this one. That way we can get this one around the bump out and get it out. Alright, I got the laser level on here as usual. After the tear out, we always clean the floor up, organize the blankets, things like that, which AJ's working on that right now. We'll put the sink in the hole, that way we don't have a problem once we get the tops in. Since they've got this plumbing fixture sticking out, I like to set it on a bucket. AJ's been working on getting all this silicone off of the edge of the cabinets. Way we don't have a mess when we go to bring the new tops in. This is something good to show in the video. Do you see these screws coming up through this Lazy Susan area here? What they do with those, they use those to level up this piece. When you have an enclosed Lazy Susan, there's no way to get in there and put a shim in it, so you use those screws. Now they have twist shims, which you can use, but with this Lazy Susan being down about an inch, it's going to be hard to use those twist shims as well. So we'll see what we can do. So if you look with these templates, now that it's flush with the cabinet, it sets a little forward of this. All right, if you bring the template up, you see it's flush with that. It was templated on top of the existing countertops, which those are anywhere from 1 inch and 3/16 to 1 inch. I've seen them, you know, 1 inch and 5/16. The ones we had yesterday had a real thick piece, but you know, that goes to the plumbness of the walls. I've said it in other videos. You know, we can template with the template material, we can template the curves in the wall and all that, but the template material is an 1/8 inch thick, and the material is, like I said, 1 inch and 3/16, so the plumbness of the wall comes into play there. So that's why a lot of times you got to cut the wall and all that, which if you get 4-inch backsplash, full height, or tile, or anything, it doesn't matter anyways because it's getting covered. But anyway, I just thought that was something, you know, good to show in the templates to help people understand. Or to show in the video. Like I said, I'm a little tired. Alright, instead of using these screws coming up, I don't like that because basically you got a sharp point going into your stone. And I don't know, it's just not very professional. So what I'm going to do is use these twist shims here, and then I'm actually going to screw a shim in beside of it to hold it in place. And then if we need to shim it up, we can just use these twist shims up against an actual shim, and I think it'll be more professional. So you guys have seen in my other videos, anytime we have quartz that's white, I hate saying white because there's 1,000 different shades of white, but anytime you got a light quartz, the main thing you always need to do is make sure that seam is as clean as possible. So I'm going to clean them right now before I put the stone in there and it gets real tight. And then of course I'll spray it and clean it again before I actually do the seam. If you don't, you will have that black line going all the way down, and a lot of people, they're like, man, you know, I just can't ever get my seam to look good on a light stone or a white stone, and that's because they don't clean it, man. You got to clean that seam, make sure it's good, and that way you can have a nice, clean looking seam. So, and of course, you guys have seen my seams, and I will show you again on these, but very, very important to clean these as best you can. You also want to run your seam fan and all that on them at the shop, back cut them, blah, blah, blah. But if you do all that and you don't clean them, you're still going to have some issues. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Alright guys, at this point we've got all the tops in, and I'm starting to level everything up. I know there's installers that don't even bring a level into the house. I've seen them before, but of course I always check everything with a laser before I get started, and then I've got my 6 foot and my 4 foot level that I'll bring in and check, make sure everything's good. So we'll be getting everything, you know, leveled up, get all the fronts lined up and all that fun stuff, and then we'll start running seams. So you can see this here is high. So that's where those screws they had coming up, that's where those came in, and that's where I'll be using the twist shims to bring it up. And when I bring that back corner up, that's going to cause this front corner to lower. Okay guys, we've got everything completed finally. I didn't really have any major things happen or go wrong or anything like that. But for some reason, it seemed like it took forever. I don't know. The tear out, I guess, took a lot longer than I thought it would. Normally a tear out like that I can knock out in no time, but it was pretty tough. So once we got it out, got everything in, I was able to level the tops pretty easily. Wasn't bad. Of course, I used my joint setter. Right here's one of the seams, and as you can see from right here, you can't even see it. And that's pretty daggone good for white or light quartz. Here's the other one. You know, I can't even see this on the phone. I mean, I can see it not looking at it at the phone, but still pretty daggone good for white quartz. You know, you take a step back or so, you don't really see it. I did have to cut just a little bit on the cooktop, just a few little spots to get it to slide in. But anytime you go by the specs on the paper, I don't know if they just don't know how to add in the little screws that are in it or what, but you know they're there, but you don't want to make it extra big because of it, because if you do that, then you come out to the job and the hole's too big, then it's your fault. So you cut to what the paperwork says and you make it bigger if you need to once you get here. Underneath, we caulked out with a transparent beige. I think it matches the cabinets perfect. So I don't think you could have picked a better color. As far as the silicone goes, of course we took the barkeeper's friend to get any of the pencil marks and any of that off. As you can see, the transparent beige better on this side of the cabinet over here. It's like, matches perfect. Went ahead and tried to put some painter's caulk back on the back, but you know, there's some splices in drywall and such there. It's not really a big deal. They're getting tiled later. I just always try to painter's caulk. Also for the faucet, of course, there's one hole faucet, but let me show you this here. I have this small bit on the truck and it works perfect for these. Pot filler or hot water, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you know, see, it's got this little spout, but it fits in there perfect with that little hole. And then you don't have a big huge faucet hole, you know. It would still cover the faucet hole barely, or you know, the 1 3/8 hole, but I think it's better to use this little one. Took the guys a while to get this sink correct as well, so that took some time. So it's just been a rough week, and you know, I hate being in people's houses this late, keeping them awake and all that. So I'm trying to get out of here, but I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any comments, you know, leave them down there. I'll try to answer them when I can. You guys know I do if you're nice about it. But otherwise, I'm gonna get off of here and try to make it home. We got about a 40-some minute drive ahead of us.